Hi, Pat here from ulearnoffice.com with just a small presentation on how to use absolute and relative cell references in your models. Let's just see what I've got here. I got something very simple. I'm using US dollars, 5, 10, 15, and $20. I'm using the current exchange rate, which is $1.25 Canadian for every US dollar. So what I want to see in this row is what's the equivalent in Canadian dollars for 5, 10, 15, and $20 US. Quite easy. The only thing you have to do is multiply the two, so it's equal. Multiply the exchange rate. I'm using the up cursor, as you can see. Multiply by $5. So there you go. That's for every 5 US dollars, you're getting 6.25 in Canadian dollars. One of the things you really want to do when you're creating a model is being able to reuse or to copy the formulas that you have. But you have to be careful sometimes. What I'm going to do in this case, I'm going to use this formula, copy it to the other values, and see what it does. I could use the copy and paste options or Control C or Control V on my keyboard if I wanted to copy and paste. But I really want to use the fill handle. That's the little small square in the bottom of the active cell. When I place my cursor on top of that square, my cursor changes form for a thin black plus, as you can see right now. I'm going to press and hold the left mouse button and move to my right under the $20 and release the button. And that's going to copy the formula. But as you can see, it's not giving me what I wanted. Let's just find out where the problem is. Let's see my first formula. I'm going to press F2 to see the formula. That seems fine. $5 multiplied by 125, and it's giving me 625. When I'm going to see the next formula, and you can see it on the formula bar here, multiplied C3 by C4, well, that's not right. You see, I'm having the $10. It's the formula right next on top. But it's using the cell on top, which is empty. It's multiplying $10 by 0, so that's giving me a 0. But why is it doing it this way? Well, actually, that's the way Excel understands the formula. So let's just go back to our original formula here. The way Excel understands the formula, it understands it in the relative way. It references to the location of the formula. So B3 is 2 cells on top of the formula, so it's looking 2 on top, and B4 is just the cell right on top. So when it copies the formula next here, relative to the position of the formula, it's going to go look 2 up multiplied by the one right on top of it. So it's when you talk about relative references, it's relative to the location or the position of the formula that you're using right now. So it's always going to be looking 2 on top multiplied by the one right on top, and it's going to carry that all the way. Let's see. There you go. That's 2 on top multiplied by the one right on top, and the same thing again. That's the relative positioning or cell references is about. Relative to the position of the formula is going to go look X cells up, down, left, or right. And that's usually good, but right now I really have a problem because I don't have the exchange rate here, and I don't want them there for 2 reasons. First, if I were to copy this value to the other cells, first, I'm using a lot of space for the same value. And second, if I ever want to change one value and I forget to change just one, my entire model won't work properly. It won't give me the correct answer. So what you really need to do is to change the formula to say, look, I want you to always look to the correct row, the correct column, or the correct cell. I need to be able to fix the column or the row. And I do that by using the $sign. By placing a $sign either in front of the letter for the column or in front of the number for the row. Let's go see our formula once again. So B3 is always my problem here because I want to fix that. B4 is always the cell on top. There's always some values available. That's fine. that I always want to find my exchange rate in B3. I need to fix this. There's 4 possibilities. Now I could leave it as is, but you know what happens. B3 becomes C3 and then D3, which means when I'm moving my formula left to right or horizontally, it's the letters of the column that's changing. When I'm moving my formula up and down, it's the number of the row that changes. In this case, I'm copying the formula from left to right or horizontally, so it's the letter that's changing, and I don't want that. I want to fix the letter. So I'm going to just place my cursor here, enter the $ in front of the B3 here, and then I'll be able to copy that formula. I could place a $ also in front of B3 here. In this case, it would work. I would fix the letter for the column and the number for the row. But in reality, you always want to fix only what you need. In other cases, it could be a lot of problem, and it is actually in the next example for commission 1, it's going to be a big problem. So be very careful for that. Now, that's the only thing I'm going to do. I'm going to change that. Another way I could have done it, place the $ in front, is by using the F4 key, and it would do something like this. You either put everything in relative, fix both, fix either the number for the row or fix the letter for the column. As long as you press F4, you're going to cycle through all the possibilities, and in this case I really need just $B3. Now the first time people try to actually fix a cell reference, they freak out a bit and they want to freeze everything. Don't get into that habit. Look at your formula and look what you need absolutely to freeze. Sometimes you need to freeze one, both, none. So just always look out your formula and how you're going to use it. If you're just going to use a formula for one cell, forget about absolute and relative references. But if you want to copy that formula, then it's going to be a problem that you need to look at. In this case, just to repeat, I need to place my $ in front of the letter B, and that's going to do it. So just press enter. It's going to give me the same result. But when I'm going to use the fill handle now, I'm getting the right answer. Am I getting the right answer? Let's go see the formula. We'll go to C5 here, press F2. I'm getting the value that's right on top. That's always relative, but it's fixing it so it's always looking in the B column. There you go. So that's 125. Let's see if it works for the next. $B3 multiplied by D4, right? And again, $B3. So that part of the formula, $B, never changes. Even if I copy it 1,000,000 times, that part of the formula will still remain the same. And there you go, you got the right answers here. So that's how you have to look at absolute and relative cell references. And it's very important that you master that, because if you don't, you won't be able to use a model or create a model properly. Or it's going to take you 10 times more time if you have to write every single formula one after the other. Once I've fixed it, you know exchange rates change every day. So today it's 125. Let's say I'm going to put 123, press enter, and every single formula changed here. Every single result changed. What have I done? I changed only one value. And what happened? Every single formula changed for it. So that's what you should do. You're gonna have to create your model, but I want leave one space in your model where you're gonna have your values that you'll want to be able to change. So that's important. So it makes it a lot easier to generate the values that you want and master it. Leave a place for your values and another place for your model. So when you change one value, the entire model should change according to the values you've just put in. That's it for the first example of absolute and relative references. You're going to be able to see commission 1, which going to speak about how to put commissions. Commission 2, that will use the if function to find the proper commissions for Peter, Paul, and Mary. And you're going to see also commission 3, which is going to use the VLOOKUP function to find the proper commission for every sales. This is Pat from ULearn Office. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please take the time to look at the other videos on commissions 1, 2, and 3.